Breaking overnight, we are learning that Americans are among the dead in the Hamas onslaught in Israel. And now the U.S. is sending military planes and ships closer to Israel in a show of support. NBC's Alice Barr is on Capitol Hill this morning with the details.
As the full scope of the deadliest attack on Israel in decades comes into focus.
This is an attack that I don't think anyone saw coming.
The tragedy compounded with news that at least 4 Americans have been killed. The Senate's top Democrats saying that toll will rise after lawmakers were briefed on the latest developments. Americans who managed to make it out of Israel describing scenes of horror.
There were rockets above us all day.
Israeli officials say at least 700 people have been killed in what they're describing as their nation's 9/11. Israeli airstrikes now hammering the Gaza Strip after the ruling Hamas militant group in Gaza attacked Israel on multiple fronts Saturday morning, raining rockets into Israel, while Hamas fighters infiltrated, in some cases by paraglider, as this video shows. A music festival in the Israeli desert, one of their first targets. 260 people were killed here, many more taken hostage. The Defense Department announcing the U.S. is sending military assets closer to Israel to deter any further attacks, while U.S. officials are not ruling out using the assets to help one of America's closest allies in its fight against Hamas. There are growing questions about Iran's potential role in this attack. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said he had not yet seen evidence that Iran directed the violence, but that Iran and Hamas have had a long relationship. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Local lawmakers are weighing in on the attacks on Israel. Congressman Brandon Williams issued a statement on X yesterday that reads in part, quote, "I strongly condemn the Palestinian militants who are striking the Israeli state at this hour. The jihadists and their supporters are enemies of humanity and enemies of peace. I stand with the Israeli people as they protect their families, homes, and border." Congressman Mark Molinaro also issued a statement on X. His statement reads, quote, "Israel is under brutal attack as Israelis are being slaughtered by Hamas terrorists. We condemn these attacks, stand with Israel, and support its right to defend itself." And finally, Congresswoman Elise Stefanik released a statement reading in part, quote, "I extend my condolences for the Israelis who lost their lives in these senseless and barbaric attacks. I stand with Prime Minister Netanyahu and the Israeli people and remain committed to ensuring that they have the support and resources they need to defend themselves." And in a show of solidarity with Israel, the Empire State Building in New York City is lit up in blue and white, the colors of the Israeli flag. Governor Hochul has directed all state landmarks to be illuminated in blue and white following Hamas's surprise attack on Israel. The governor says New York stands with Israel and is proud to be home to the largest Jewish population outside of Israel.